as it looks. It's all about Storm the Wall today on The Express. On today's show, Storm the Wall quirk and competition.
It's pretty crazy.
Ready?
Yeah.
She's a great athlete. I don't think she'll have any problem with the rest of the race.
Iron woman Misha Cole.
Be a good little individual challenge, something to top off my university.
Mural artist Vince Dumoulin.
I just wanted the most vibrant, high impact.
One person's coming around behind the wall.
Most importantly, how to tackle the 12-foot wall.
It looks taller than I remember.
See that and more local expression. Welcome to The Express. I'm Johanna Ward at UBC for Storm the Wall, the biggest intramural event in all of North America. Now, they're doing things a little differently this year. For the first time in Storm the Wall history, the mural was painted by a pro. And up first, we meet the man behind the wall.
When UBC Rec brainstormed the proposed image on the wall for 2011, they wanted to go a different route. Vince Dumoulin was on their radar.
We'd seen his sketch on paper, just a little 8.5 by 11, and my initial reaction when he brought the colors out was just how amazing they were, like how vibrant they were. In the past, it's normally just been a one-color logo, so to see so many different colors that are so bright, it truly represents our marketing campaign that we went along with this year. I love what you did with the slime up top. It looks sweet.
Right on. I was quite open. I wanted to be a part of it because it's a really good opportunity to do a piece with a lot of exposure in a short amount of time and no creative constraints. So this is really as good as it gets. I was just trying to sort of do a tip of the hat to the late 70s, early 80s graffiti pieces, New York City style specifically. The background very much represents that style. He's going to be punching through the wall, and then we call these the bubblegum colors as far as the letters go. I just wanted the most vibrant, high impact color. The lettering's a little bit, it has a slightly more contemporary, but altogether the style is very, what I like to call old school, and that's really what I was going for.
That's a really good line. Is that the paint?
Can control.
For Vince, graffiti has been a part of his life since he was a teenager.
I guess you could say in my early teenage years as a sort of a skateboarder type, you know, just doing tags and whatnot. And then towards 16, 17 years old, I started doing it a lot more. And really didn't have any interest for the more artistic side of graffiti. It was purely the bombing side of it.
He says even after he's explored various art mediums, graffiti will be a long-lasting hobby. This mural took about 15 hours to create, but Vince says he's all right with the idea. It'll go through a bit of a beating.
I want to see it. I'm ready for it. I think right around here, there's going to be like some crazy destruction and footsteps, but it's actually really, really high quality spray paint. I think it can withstand some level of damage, but I welcome it.
In Vancouver, I'm Melanie Pineda for The Express.
It's a new wall with the same challenges. You have to swim, sprint, bike, run, and then before you hit that proverbial wall, you have to climb over a 12-foot one. Here's a look at what's involved with UBC's Storm the Wall.
It's pretty crazy. But we've had over 50,000 students do it in over 30 years of running Storm the Wall. There's 5 components, 5 people on a team. Start in the pool. It's 225 meters, so that's 9 laps. Then they do a 400-meter sprint where they meet their cyclist. Their cyclist does 9 laps, which is just under 3 kilometers. And then they have another runner. This is the long-distance runner, but it's just a kilometer. Then they meet their wall person right here at the wall, and all 5 of them need to get over the wall.
A 12-foot wall. It looks a lot taller than it sounds.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams get here and they look up and they're pretty nervous.
Hold it! Come on! Pull! Come on, baby! Yeah! Go, baby!
In its first incarnation, its first few years, it was actually right on the concrete here, so there was not all this pile of bark mulch, which softens the landing a bit, so they were a bit more hardcore then. The wall was also completely vertical in its first few years.
There we go.
Legs straight.
Elbows over.
We have a bit of an incline to the wall, not much, but there's a little bit of an incline. So we've changed it a little bit, made it a bit safer. We have all these spotters here now to make sure people aren't falling off the wall.
Legs straight, legs straight.
In the true spirit of campus life, one year you guys got pranked.
That's right, the engineers came in overnight and they added a foot to the bottom of the wall. So it was a 13-foot wall until we noticed about halfway through the event.
I would have been so choked if I would have been one of the first people that day.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Or proud because I made it over a 13-foot wall.
Our slogan is experience it. And so, you know, it's not just the event. We try to throw in games, we try to throw in, you know, a party atmosphere, and we try to like make people really feel accomplished for doing this.
Seen how Storm the Wall works, I bet you're still wondering how exactly the students actually get over that wall. Well, here's a look at two of the most popular storming techniques.
To many, it is a dreaded 12-foot wall built with cement and sweat. But to the people who work underneath it, the wall has just as many victims as it does survivors.
Chrissy, you have a very important job. What's that?
Well, we're wall spotters. So we're in charge of catching the bodies of the people if they do fall. So you really need to be yelling at them, you know, making sure that they're doing the right things. No, you're okay.
But the wall spotter's job is made easier with this mandatory 45-minute classroom and wall workshop.
We're pretty much just telling them all of the rules and regulations. For first-time teams, they really just soak up any information that you give to them and use it.
The outdoor portion takes the teams out to ground zero to pair them up with the experienced wall spotters.
Yeah! What are some of the techniques that you use to catch someone that's falling?
We use more of the kind of truss catch, so we have our arms up, so then if anyone falls back, we're ready to catch. 2, 3.
There are some wall stormers who express immediate confidence.
Not as hard as it seems. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun.
And then there are others who respect all 12 feet of the wall.
When I saw the wall, I was definitely thinking it looks taller than I remember.
Rachel and Cassia's team is trying to decide which of the two wall techniques they'll use.
So the first way is back facing the wall, so they're bracing this way, and then teams climb up the front. The other is facing the wall, and they're climbing up with their backs.
We're starting off, one person's coming around behind the wall, and we're getting 2 people to go over at the same time.
The team looks ready, but there's no doubt they would never take on this challenge alone.
2, 3.
They've all heard the legends of those who did it alone and faltered.
I'm dating a guy who tried to do it completely alone a couple years ago and just failed. But I mean, it was really fun to watch. It was him and 2 guys who were like twice as tall as him.
Right?
A little education, some experience, and a great wall spotter will get you to the top. I'm Bianca Solterbeck in Vancouver for The Express.
Okay, push her up with your feet. Please. Goodness, you think that looked hard? Well, imagine doing the entire event on your own. It's the iron category, and we have that and more from Storm the Wall coming up. After the break, Iron Woman Misha Cole.
She's just an all-around awesome girl. She's a great athlete.
Crash course in teamwork.
Teamwork tales, and then my attempt to tackle the wall.
Count to 3. Oh.
You're watching local TV on The Express.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by...
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Johanna Ward.